years, and it makes those. I mean, the cool thing about setting these guys up and doing this stuff and culture and sport and all that stuff is it really sets them up for everything else they're going to do in life.
Absolutely.
We don't talk about that enough with sports. Me and Gary and Tyler and everybody were really passionate about it because playing sports and being competitive in anything you do helps you so much in life, and that right there, the commander, I love that idea.
Wrestling helps you out in life more than others, but
absolutely.
All right.
The old adage is once you've wrestled, everything else is easy.
Everything else in life is easy. That's Dan Gable said that one.
Yep.
And
Dan Gable.
I played college football and I wrestled in high school, and I can tell you this, that wrestling in high school is by far harder than any college football 3-a-day that I went through, and I smoked college football practices after wrestling practices. So they couldn't break us. They can't break the wrestlers in a football practice. Bottom line, coach couldn't break us. I said, "Come on, what else do you have? You got something else for me?" Because these conditioning drills aren't anything. So, anyways, we learned how to compete mentally and physically.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, do you do 2-a-day practices? Are you allowed to do that in Kansas?
You know,
I don't know
I think they have a maximum amount of time you can be with the kids, and I think it's 3 hours, and maybe you can divide that between 2 practices if you want to. We hit it all after school. If a program grows to the size there's some programs around the area have grown, then coach may look at 2-a-days to get practices in. I mean, we're at 55 kids now in our program.
That's great.
Last year we were at 35, and we ended the season with 28.
That's still a lot.
But now we're at 55, and I was telling my coaches we're at 55. We're like, geez, that's quite a few. We got a room of 2 full-size mats, but still that's quite a few kids to fit in that room.
It is.
And we always anticipate 20% may not make it through the season just because of the difficulty of the sport. Kind of like the Navy SEALs. There's guys that they can't make it through bud training, and they ring the bell and they're done. And same thing with wrestling. We try to do our best to keep them out, but sometimes they ring the bell and they're done, and we wish them the best.
I'm having flashbacks to some of these practices in my head right now.
I got a question.
Back,
we're talking about establishing culture again. Do you have any with juniors and like middle schooler or youth wrestling programs? Do you have any links with them?
So I'm glad you asked that because Mark Erickson, who's the father of Dane Erickson, who graduated last year, and Mark he's the leader of our kids club. He's our kids club coach. And last year they were awarded. They're called KCWC. They were awarded the top 50 kids club in the nation.
Nice.
And so that's a huge honor for them. And we've got guys who come back in our community that help out that kids club. Ryan Sonneregger is one of them who helps out with that kids club to give back, just like people gave to him when he was wrestling. And it's such a servant leadership type of community because they know that when they were young, guys invested in them, and they come back and they invest in those guys in return. And so we got our kids club, then we got our middle school wrestling program at Indian Hills. So kids club feeds into Indian Hills. Coach Eric Wolford does an amazing job at Indian Hills with our middle school wrestlers, and that way they feed into us. So we just keep it rolling.
That's huge.
Kids club, middle school to high school, and these are things that are in place that were not in place my first 9 years. So I'm excited to see what we can do with these tools that are now in place.
This is huge for a program, especially around here. Because schools are so big. Having those kids coming up, having that experience, it's huge for you especially when you're in the rebuilding phase.
Yes, when we used to get them, they didn't know what a stance was. They didn't know what wrestling shoes were. They didn't know what wrestling was, period. So, and now we get them, they know what a stance is, they know what shoes are, they know what a half Nelson is, they know how to get off their back. So knowing the fundamentals, having that foundation just helps us do a little more with them when they're in high school.
Yeah, definitely. You have any more questions?
I just had another flashback. That dude just killing me with the half Nelson, man. Just the
half Nelson,
it hurt.
My favorite move all time. Peterson, man. I don't know. Maybe y'all call it something else.
I don't know.
Down position.
The Peterson, you're on bottom and you're able to flip a guy over on his back and get like a 5-point move.
Bam, flip lower, 5 points. Switch up to the headlock. Try to pin that dude.
Peterson.
It came all day for me, man. It's all day.
I was an ankle pick guy. I did a lot of ankle picks.
Really?
Oh yeah. because I was smaller than the rest of them, so I could move around faster.
I've got a couple more things if whenever you're
ready.
ready.
No, go for it.
Absolutely.
One thing I want to mention is that one of the questions, and we didn't get to it tonight, but was who we're looking towards dueling this year.
Yeah.
And we've kind of set this up with Shawnee Mission West. Matt Baker's a head coach over there. Matt Baker was one of my wrestlers at Shawnee Mission East. I got him wrestling as a freshman, and he went on to become a national champion at the NCAA 2A level.
Awesome.
NCAA Division II.
Yeah.
Division II. He was a national champion there. But he's a coach over at Shawnee Mission West, and his assistant Ryan Windorf, his other assistant Grant Hollingsworth, all wrestled for me at Shawnee Mission East. So it's awesome to see those guys over there coaching. But we're going to go over to their place and duel them this year, and we'll have a lot of fun with that competitive environment, and hopefully kind of revive wrestling in the Shawnee Mission School District and get people excited about it. So,
you going to put any hardware on that?
We should get a traveling trophy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I would think
yes,
so.
that would be sweet.
Yeah.
We've got a great staff. My whole staff are Shawnee Mission East guys that wrestled at Shawnee Mission East.
That's
awesome. So we're looking forward to.
Yeah, they already know.
They know the system. Kevin Eckers was a state placer at East, and Blaine Hill was a state placer. All those guys are back, and they love East wrestling, and so I can't wait to get the season fired up.
So when is your first meet? When is your first duel?
Our first duel, I think, is December 4th, which is coming up quick. We have Blue Valley at our house, and so they'll come over. We'll see how they're doing. They kicked our butt last year. We weren't very good. But I can remember my last year coaching, Cale Mann's the head coach over at Blue Valley. He comes over to our school, and I think we handed it to him that night. We beat him pretty handily, and he came over and says, "Coach, I apologize. Our guys didn't wrestle well at all. Hopefully we'll be better next time." Well, last year when we went over their place and they kicked our ass, I said, "Coach, I apologize. we'll be better next time, man. I'm sorry about that," because that's just where we're at. But hopefully it'll be a little more competitive this year. But December 4th we kick off, and we got tournaments that weekend. I think we're at Spring Hill High School at a dual tournament that Friday. So
cool.
We're excited. It'll get on us quick here, and we got to get guys rolling and get them ready to go.
So with Spring Hill, is that going to be your first tournament?
Spring Hill is a dual tournament. Yeah.
Dual tournament? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's out at Spring Hill High School.
Okay.
And it'll be on Friday night. It's kind of their Friday night, thing. Instead of having basketball, they're going to have wrestling in their gym on that night.
All right.
So.
All right.
Oh, maybe for the Snapchat.
Ooh, yeah. I'm craving some wrestling, man.
Okay. We'll get it going, man.
Yeah, we should do that. I would say we've been covering, doing some high school games.
Football.
He has.
I've been doing football
on our Snapchat. So later he's like, "Man, football's getting over." He's like, "I'm gonna do some wrestling."
Yeah, you're more than welcome to our home duel.
Man.
Our home duel versus Blue Valley. We'll have our kids club there wrestling as well. Blue Valley's going to bring their kids club over wrestling alongside us, and then in Shawnee Mission West, that's I think I wrote it down. January 3rd.
It sounds like, along with West, you're excited for this North matchup too.
North match, Blue Valley High.
Blue Valley High.
Oh. If I said North, I meant Blue Valley High. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Was I wrong? Maybe I was.
No, I think
wrong.
that's what you're talking about.
So Blue Valley High.
Blue Valley High.
Sounds like you're super excited for this Blue Valley High.
I'm excited for it. Maybe I'm a little too excited, but I just want to get on the mat and see what these guys can do. And they've been, like I said, we've been working hard in the weight room. We're stronger. We're not strongest, but hopefully we can see kind of the fruit of their hard work, or it's at least closing the gap a little bit. And that's what we want to do, is close the gap.
So moving on, what are some of your goals for this year at Shawnee Mission East?
We talk about with our senior captains. I have a sit down with them and talk about team goals being, number one, we want to be the best in Shawnee Mission, and so we have the Shawnee Mission Dual Tournament. We want to be the best in Shawnee Mission Dual Tournament, and from there, then we have our Sunflower League Tournament. We want to start easing our way back up towards the middle of the pack or to the top of the Sunflower League, and then we want to be the best in our region. And from there, we want to take it on to be a top team in the state. We've done it before, and we've got a good formula for success, and we've got kids who are buying in, the coaching staff to do it, so we're fired up to get it done again. But it's not going to happen overnight. This year we're going to take some lumps again. We got some kids who are going to be battling to be 500 or better and qualify for state, and who knows, once they get there, they can make some noise. But that's just kind of where we're at.
All it is taking a chance.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is a chance.
Yep. And on top of that, we just ask our kids to compete. Go out there, freaking battle and compete. If that dude's on your legs, give him a crossface like you mean it. That means you may have to bloody his nose a little bit. But mean it when you give a crossface. So getting the guys to compete on the mat, in the classroom, in the weight room, that's what we're trying to do. Just compete.
And people wrestling kind of gets a bad rep. What is one of the things that you personally think when you look at a wrestling season, you say, I taught these young men this? What is that?
That's different for every single kid. I like to go through the things I just said with you, and these are near and dear to my heart over coaching, however many years. But have the courage to accept the challenge, right?
Yeah.
Once you've accepted the challenge, commit to the process. When you commit to the process, you learn to compete.
Yeah.
Compete. And what that looks like. And for wrestlers, I feel like it's different than any other athlete because no other athlete's exposed like a wrestler.
Right.
It's you and that other person on the mat, right?
Yep.
In football, there's 11 guys on the field. Basketball, it's a little narrow. There's 5 guys out there. You can see that. But wrestling, it's 1 versus 1.
Yep.
So I love our guys. They'll be the last ones to leave the weight room. They're getting those extra reps in because they know that that's going to have a direct reflection on them and on the mat. You can't hide behind that.
Oh, man.
But learn to compete. Then they
get fired up.
He's getting all fired up.
Learn to compete. Then they develop confidence. You develop confidence. I can go out there and compete with anybody, right? And they get that. You get that in the weight room, working hard in the weight room, and you compete in the weight room on the mat, and that develops that confidence. And then from there, you work on becoming a champion. And everybody's definition of champion is different. It doesn't mean you're a state champion. It might mean you're a state qualifier. It might mean you made it through the freaking season as a wrestler, right?
Yeah.
That's your definition of champion. Everybody's definition is different. So that's what I kind of take them through, and I hold through that. We keep hitting that throughout the season. Some dudes challenge. They got to look in the mirror and say, man, I'm fat. I got to lose weight, right? They got to look in the mirror, have the courage to look in the mirror, be real with themselves, and challenge themselves and make a change, commit to the process. So there are challenges all over the place. Wrestling is a challenge, and it teaches a lot about life, and hopefully they take a little bit of that with them to help them be better men in life.
Speaking for myself, if it wasn't for my wrestling coaches, I don't know that I probably would have given up a long time ago, because the life lessons that, and this is important for people watching, and you're hesitant about your kids going to wrestle or anything like that, the life lessons that are taught in that room, on that mat, with kids forever. And, when at times in my life when I've been down, I've always looked back and I thought, well, what would my wrestling coach have told me? He said, you get up and you don't quit. You keep going. Never give up.
Stay in the fight. Stay in the fight. Stay
fighting.
In there.
Keep fighting. Don't give up. So that's
absolutely
little PSA for the people out there who are hesitant about having your kids wrestle. Have them do it. It'll change. It changes everything.
Yeah, it really does.
It does.
I remember
once you can go 6 minutes on a mat with another man, everything else is easy. Like Dan Gable said.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like even when the match is going on, you still kind of like you could hear your coach. And every once like yelling at you. And every once in a while
you hear a lot of too. The headgear, and then you hear your coach yelling every once in a while.
And every once in a while, you get the glance over there, and he's like telling you to do something.
Fix my headgear. I'm having flashbacks.
But it's just awesome, man. It's just it's one of the most intense. We talked about it before. It's one of the most intense thing I did. I even had I did a pre-match ritual with my dad. My dad was my coach in the kids club. So we had a ritual and everything. We did this whole handshake deal before we went out there.
Oh yeah.
It was the most fun thing. My dad, kids club. My dad, every single match I had, he recorded it, recorded the outcome, recorded either how I won, how I lost, and so I had scouting reports for all the other kids I would always wrestle all the time.
That's awesome.
Oh man, so I'd always know I'd look at the bracket tournament, whatever, and I'm like, I'm coasting through this thing, and I would because I already knew each kid how to beat it. It was one of the best times I ever had, man. It's awesome. It's so much fun.
Yeah. So, Coach, what is your favorite barbecue spot here in Kansas City?
It's funny you mentioned barbecue because I don't know how much time we have left here, but we had a wrestling banquet and we had barbecue, and we ran out halfway through the line. Those freaking wrestlers could eat some barbecue, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, whoever catered this deal, you don't know how much wrestlers can eat. Maybe we should have portioned those guys as they went through.
Starving all year.
We ran out, and in the last quarter of the line, they just had buns with pickles.
they were still eating them too.
Freaking have my bun with the pickles,
man.
Yeah.
Where did they get it? Where'd you guys get it catered from?
I probably shouldn't say since they ran out of food, but
okay.
Yeah.
It was still good though.
It was good. That's why we ran out. But I think not to be. I mean, Oklahoma Joe's, Casey Joe's is pretty darn good barbecue. So that's who I'd go with right now. We'll stick with that.
Well, I was gonna say, okay, so you're walking in there and you're gonna sit down, or you're getting that long line. or whichever one you go to.
We try to go early to beat that long line, like 11 o'clock or before 11. Get in there and beat that long line.
Beat that long line.
It's
tough.
Yeah,
it is tough. So you get in
almost
there.
as tough as wrestling a match.
What are you ordering? What are you ordering? You already know what it is. I mean, you already know. Do you get the same thing every time you switch it up?